Hello and welcome to Weichert's Tax Update. As we are almost a year into the new U.S. tax reform, I am joined here today with Matthew Pascual, Weichert's Mobility Tax Services Senior VP, to share an update. Matthew, if you have any advice for the relocation managers with almost being a year into this tax reform, what advice would you give?
Well, I would say be patient. You've got a situation where the IRS will continue to give guidance. We had some recent guidance, and we expect there will be more. And, I think the dust has settled a bit. Companies have made decisions on what they're going to do. But, I think you got to be patient. You got to expect that there's going to be more change, more clarity from the IRS, and more clarity from the states as well, whether they're going to adopt or not adopt the new reform.
What has been the greatest impact that you've seen on our client base from this?
It's a great question. I think clients have, taken a step back, and first of all, they've said, you know what, it is what it is. It's going to mean more costs for our programs. The majority of our clients, based on our interactions with them and our surveys, have said that they're going to retain their benefits. They're not going to cut back on benefits. They're going to absorb the additional tax costs in the programs. And then more recently, I've talked to a lot of clients about some confusion with their employees and the need to have tax briefings on a domestic level, international of course as well, but on the domestic level, moving state to state, trying to understand what it means for them if they're selling a home, if they're buying a home, are they going to still itemize their deductions or not? Kind of just what does it all mean? What do the gross ups mean to them? What are they going to be grossed up at? So getting a lot of questions. So we've been asked to do a lot of tax briefings and even some tax prep in some programs to really help alleviate the burden and the confusion from the employee's point of view.
What have been some of the most common policy and program responses from this?
So far, clients have stayed the course, and this is several months after tax reform now, so almost a year later, right? They've stayed the course. Some have looked at their policies. Some have added tax briefings and tax prep as a benefit now to their domestic policies. Obviously, there's an added cost for that, so they look for ways to pay for that. That could be trimming an allowance or looking at some other areas. But yeah, they've also been able to manage those interactions internally, knowing that the U.S. corporate tax rate has come down. So they've been able to offset some of that added cost in their programs. And really, they've learned to budget for it. And, I think it's stay the course, and hopefully there'll be some more good news and some more guidance coming as, we anticipate there'll be additional tax reform in the future.
Speaking of the future, is there one piece of advice that you would give to relocation managers coming into 2019?
More change is coming, and compliance. So when I say more change is coming, we do expect that there will be more change. There will be more guidance from the IRS, number one. I think there'll be more guidance from the states as well. On an international basis, we're also seeing a major push for compliance. So whether that's immigration, the immigration folks at the border talking to the tax folks, comparing notes, really using technology for that, and then being able to kind of catch business travelers and folks like that are crossing borders quite often. So we do think there's going to be a push for more compliance, and it'll be important for program owners to really ensure that they're not going to be able to ignore it forever or have overly pragmatic solutions. So this will be, I think, over the coming year or even two, they're really going to need to really pay attention to this, engage with their tax provider, and ensure that they are as compliant as they can be and minimize their risk tolerance.
Well, thank you, Matthew, for all your advice today. I hope some of the information that you provided can help people get ready and prepare for the new year. Just wanted to say that Weichert is the only RMC with an expat tax practice. So that's definitely a strong skill that we can bring out there in the industry. And thank you again, Matthew, for the updates.
Oh, thank you very much for your time.
Perfect. For Weichert Workforce Mobility, Morgan Weidman. Thank you.